Being French, I've realized throughout my life that there are many different stereotypes people hold for the culture. Two of the most common French stereotypes seen in video games are the snobbish or stuck-up stereotype and the bougie or fashion-obsessed stereotype. In this video, I will be analyzing French characters from 3 games: Battle Arena Toshinden, Pokemon XY, and Street Fighter II. However, many games have stereotypical French characters, and some honorable mentions include Widowmaker from Overwatch, Hyena from Maximum Impact, and Glass Joe from Punch-Out! Battle Arena Toshinden is a weapons-based fighting game, co-published by Sony Computer Entertainment, a subsidiary digital entertainment company of Sony, and by Takara, another Japanese company famous for children's toys such as Transformers and Beyblade. It was published in 1995 for various home consoles, and the game is recognized as one of the first fighting games to bring characters into the third dimension. This means that instead of having fighters only interact in a side-scroller, two-dimensional environment, Battle Arena Toshinden allowed players to use a sidestep to step left or right. Battle Arena Toshinden allows players to play as various fighters, each with their own connection to the storyline's protagonist, Eiji Shinjo. When designing characters, Sony and Takara wanted to create fighters that players could see as really existing and also think are funny. This led to many stereotypes being incorporated into the game, since players latch onto preconceived ideas of how certain races act. This can be seen in fighters such as Sophia, a whip-wielding Russian, and Fo Fu, a Chinese magician and assassin. However, the fighter I'll be focusing on is Duke B. Rambert, a French knight. Duke wears traditional knight armor and has long green hair. Though he lacks what would be considered stereotypical French clothing, there's no beret and he's not carrying a baguette. Arena Toshinden was still designed to play to people's pre-existing French stereotypes. This can be seen in Duke's mannerisms and dialogue. He is weak but overconfident, and the game's largest wiki site labels him as an, quote, arrogant Frenchman, which basically means that in cutscenes and after-battle remarks, Duke is very boastful and blindly courageous. Duke's finishing lines include, "Sorry, I fight without mercy. You needn't use that weapon," and "How can you win a fight with those weapons?" In one cutscene, Duke receives an invitation to a competition where he has another chance to fight Eiji. He becomes overly confident and is sure he will be victorious. The stereotype that French people are stuck up or arrogant is more popular than one might think. Based on Skyscanner's online poll, which received more than 1,200 responses from Europe, North America, and Australia, France was voted the rudest nation for visitors. With Arena Toshinden being critically acclaimed after its release and selling over 150,000 units in the United States, Sony and Takara's vision of what French people act like reached masses of people, helping to enforce this stereotype of the French as snobs. Another stereotype people have for the French is that they are obsessed with fashion. This is a less common stereotype than the snobbish one, but is still a belief held by many. Many people have a vision of the French in fashy designer clothes, along with fancy handbags or glasses. This vision has entered the video game industry through several games, including Pokemon XY and Street Fighter II. In Pokemon XY, you travel through the region of Kalos, an area modeled after and directly inspired by places and cities in northern France, such as the Eiffel Tower and the Notre Dame. The villainous French team you fight against in the Kalos region is called Team Flare, and even their name gives us a hint as to how they will be portrayed. As you probably guessed, the team has a lot of flair. They wear all orange, and they have some of the flashiest fashion sense in the Pokemon universe. Team Flare is the epitome of bougie. They wear full or partial suits, ties, and minimalist yet futuristic glasses, boots, and belts. Their French fashion sense can also be seen in their hairdos, many of them dyed vibrant colors or sporting uncommon cuts. The Team Flare grunts even have their hair done to look like they have a flame on their heads. Like, seriously, what is this? If you aren't already convinced of Team Flare's fashion obsession, let's take a look at Lysandre, the leader of Team Flare. Lysandre is obsessed with beauty and wants to eliminate all people who don't meet his standards. He can be heard saying lines such as, "Everything beautiful should stay that way forever," or, "I would make this world unchanging and eternal, so all beauty will last forever." Team Flare can clearly be seen to perpetuate the French fashion stereotype, but they also reaffirm the belief that the French are often full of themselves, as previously seen in Duke B. Rambert. Team Flare is so incredibly full of themselves and confident in their style and world vision that they believe all those who don't meet their standards should be eliminated. This overconfidence can be seen when players beat Lysandre in a battle. He says his loss is impossible, not believing that such a god as himself could possibly be beat. He also frequently reminds players of his plan for world domination, saying that many will have to be eliminated in order to create the most beautiful world. "No, nothing can change me now. If there's a path to create a beautiful world, then that is the path I must take, even if it means I can only save a handful of the old world." The last character I analyzed is Remy from Street Fighter II. Remy is a lanky fighter with long turquoise hair and a fashionable outfit. He wears tight red pants and a black leather jacket with no shirt under it. Remy perpetuates French stereotypes through his fashion, beliefs, and mannerisms. First of all, the French having flashy fashion taste is a stereotype, and Remy does nothing to deny this. His tight red pants and leather jacket leaves no doubt in players' minds that French are flashy and sensual. Street Fighter Wiki describes Remy as having, quote, "a cold and aloof demeanor," with win quotes including, "Why am I here anyway? Stay down, or do you want me to hurt you again?" Remy also claims to hate fighting, another French trope. This can be seen in another win line, "I have no intention of beating you up again. Just leave." Though stereotypes in video games can be troublesome, we have to remember that the reason they are in the games is because of the public's opinions of certain cultures. The way to treat everyone fairly and not stereotype them is to treat each person as an individual, not as their culture. Doing this will gradually change the video game industry, as well as other industries that perpetuate these stereotypes.